Godzilla's crocodilian skin and rows of sharp, jagged dorsal plates can be found on the real-life marine iguana. Skullcrawler's low-slung crawling posture and aggressive snapping jaws mirror the Komodo dragon perfectly. Warbat's leathery scales, long body, and a massive pair of membranous wing-like hoods flanking its head with its intimidating face are a direct visual match for the iconic king cobra. From the depths of the hollow earth to the highest mountain peaks, the Monsterverse is filled with colossal titans whose designs feel strangely familiar with real-world animals. Let's compare these kaiju with their real-life animal doubles. Godzilla is a colossal, charcoal-gray saurian titan featuring rough crocodilian skin and rows of sharp, jagged dorsal plates running down his spine, which can be found on the marine iguana. While they live the same aquatic life, the marine iguana is a small reptile that grows to just over 3 feet long and dives into shallow waters to graze on ocean algae, whereas Godzilla stands over 393 feet tall, feeds entirely on nuclear radiation, and defends his territory with a devastating beam of atomic breath. Kong is a massive bipedal ape covered in thick, dark brown fur, characterized by a heavily muscled upper torso, an expressive, battle-scarred face, and an exceptionally broad chest, which can also be found in a wild gorilla. While they share the same powerful primate build as apes, their behavior is a world apart. A gorilla is a peaceful, quadrupedal terrestrial herbivore living in close family troops within dense African rainforests, whereas the titanic Kong walks completely upright and acts as a solitary apex guardian to hunt down subterranean monsters. Behemoth is a massive mammalian titan covered in thick, dark brown fur, blending a sloped, ape-like posture with a pair of colossal, downward-curving ivory tusks, which look identical to the defensive anatomy of a prehistoric woolly mammoth. While they share the same sweeping, spiraled tusks and shaggy, cold-resistant coat, the main difference is found in the terrifying rivals they clash with. The extinct mammoth used its tusks defensively to ward off agile packs of saber-toothed tigers, whereas Behemoth wields his massive ivory blades to wage brutal, earth-shaking territorial wars against Warbat, a grotesque, shape-shifting swamp titan invading his Amazonian sanctuary. Skullcrawler is a hyper-aggressive, two-legged underground predator with a pale, bone-white, skull-like face, a sleek, dark-skinned reptilian body, and a long, prehensile tail, which appearance we can see also in the Komodo dragon. Even though they share the same low-slung, crawling posture, scaly hide, and aggressive, snapping jaws, mechanically, they couldn't be more different. A Komodo dragon is a four-legged reptile that relies on patience, camouflage, and toxic, bacteria-laden saliva to hunt deer, whereas a skullcrawler possesses only two massive front limbs, stands several stories tall, and is driven by an insatiable, hyper-metabolic hunger to continuously chase and swallow prey whole without stopping. Skar King is a lanky, menacing primate titan covered in thin, rust-red fur, defined by his exceptionally long, hyper-flexible limbs and an elongated, malicious facial structure, which perfectly mimic an orangutan. While they share the same distinct, shaggy red coat and flexible, elongated limbs, the behavior is a world apart. Real orangutans are gentle, highly intelligent fruit eaters that spend peaceful, solitary lives in the canopies of Borneo and Sumatra. Whereas the giant Skar King is a cruel, tyrannical warlord who uses a weaponized bone whip to enslave other apes. Methuselah is a mountain-sized quadrupedal titan whose heavily armored rocky carapace is completely covered in ancient dirt, mature forests, and jagged stone peaks, which look exactly like the slow, defensive shell of a giant tortoise. While they share the same low-slung, heavily protected body and dome-like shell layout, their movement and life cycle are a world apart. A tortoise is a slow land reptile that grazes on desert vegetation and hides inside its shell for safety, while Methuselah is so colossally massive that he literally disguises himself as an entire mountain range, remaining dormant for centuries to let ecosystems grow on his back before waking to crush enemy titans under his immense weight. Warbat is a serpentine aerial horror featuring a long, slithering body covered in dark, leathery scales and a massive pair of membranous, wing-like hoods flanking its head, which are a direct visual match for the iconic king cobra. While they share the same flared, intimidating neck expansion and defensive hood, their hunting strategies set them apart. A king cobra is a ground-dwelling venomous snake that uses neurotoxic fangs to hunt other small reptiles in dense forests, while the massive, flying warbat uses its leathery wing hoods to glide through the subterranean caverns of the hollow earth, constriction wrapping around megafauna to suffocate them before draining their fluids. Mothra is a beautiful, ethereal insectoid titan featuring a slender body, large, glowing blue eyes, and enormous, blindingly radiant wings patterned with vibrant orange, yellow, and black hues, which can be found on the real-world moth. While they share the same fan-shaped wings and fuzzy compound eyes, a real-world moth is a fragile, nocturnal insect that eats nectar and is helplessly drawn to artificial light bulbs. Whereas Mothra commands powerful telepathic abilities and acts as a benevolent goddess who weaponizes energy beams and silken webs to protect the planet. Rodan is a terrifying aviation titan with a massive crimson-brown avian body covered in rock-hard volcanic scales, boasting enormous magma-fringed wings and a sharp, hooked beak that can also be found on a prehistoric pteranodon. While they share the same sleek, aerodynamic airborne silhouette and elongated beak, the habitat they lived in is a world apart. The extinct pteranodon was a lightweight, fur-covered pterosaur that soared over ancient oceans to skim the surface for small fish, whereas the colossal Rodan is a walking volcano whose wingspan creates supersonic shockwaves, actively roosting inside active magma vents and feeding on geothermal energy. Sker buffalo is a massive amphibious herbivore with a thick, dark hide covered in waterlogged algae and moss, sporting a pair of immense, sweeping curved horns that fuse across its forehead, which mirror those of the Cape buffalo. While they share the same stocky, muscular build and massive, heavy, side-swept horns, their natures are completely opposite. A Cape buffalo is a notoriously aggressive, herd-dwelling land mammal that grazes on savanna grasses and actively charges predators, whereas the titanic Sker buffalo is a gentle, solitary creature that can grow trees directly on its back, spending days completely submerged underwater to filter feed on river vegetation. Mother Longlegs is a terrifying bamboo forest predator featuring an array of exceptionally long, spindly, stick-like legs and a bulbous, heavily textured abdomen, which mimicking the real daddy longlegs. While they share the same multi-legged, segmented layout and needle-thin leg design, their hunting method is world apart. Unlike a common daddy longlegs, which is a tiny, harmless arachnid that slowly wanders around damp corners or tree bark to scavenge for microscopic insects and organic debris, while Mother Longlegs stands 23 feet tall, the queen Mother Longlegs can stand up to 150 feet. It perfectly mimics giant bamboo stalks, allowing it to blend into the forest canopy seamlessly before impaling unsuspecting victims from above with vertical, spear-like strikes. Scylla is a colossal, dark gray marine titan possessing 6 heavily armored, jointed legs that end in sharp points, a heavily spiked nautilus-like shell, and a cluster of writhing tentacles surrounding her mouth, which can be found on a deep-sea giant spider crab. While they share the same long, jointed legs and circular armored carapace, their ecological roles differ vastly. The giant spider crab is a slow, deep-sea scavenger that crawls along the ocean floor eating dead fish and detritus, whereas the massive Scylla is an active titan capable of walking onto dry land, using her mouth tentacles to siphon nutrients directly from melting glaciers to help stabilize global sea levels. Shimo is a majestic, quadrupedal reptilian titan covered in pearlescent, ice-white scales, featuring a massive, heavy-set torso and jagged, translucent blue crystal spikes along her back, which share some similarity from an Arctic polar bear. While they share the same solid, bulky frame and stark, snow-white coloration, they come from 2 different species. Polar bear is a mammalian carnivore that tracks seals across shifting sea ice using claws and teeth, whereas Shimo is an ancient, world-shaping reptilian behemoth whose body mass dwarfs a bear by millions of tons, capable of triggering entire ice ages by blasting absolute zero frost beams from her jaws. The Monsterverse is filled with colossal titans whose designs feel strangely familiar. Remarkably, nature and prehistory have created real-world animal doubles that share their exact physical blueprints. Which version of these kaiju is your favorite? Let us know in the comments.